Welcome you guys in the class of computer architecture and organization. Today we discuss about the topic of interrupts in the microprocessor 8086, and this is your host Anwar Ali from the Department of Computer Science and Information Technology, Benazir Shahid University, Karachi. Thank you for joining in the class, and let's see, we have today discuss about the detail of 8086 microprocessor. Interrupts on the microprocessor. So when your phone, before going to the topic, we have to understand what is the happening in the interrupts. Let's see, when our phones are rings during the any lecture, what will happen when we are studying, then our phones are rings, what we do. So when you finish talking on the phone, then you will continue with your study. So this is happening. We are when interrupting for some reasons, for some other type of the tasks given between the running any program. So these priority tasks will be interrupt all the things of the session. So now your phone rings again and someone also knocking at your door, then what will you do? So when we have two priorities, so what we have to deal with the two priorities being interrupted, you will perform some predefined actions. You know that what should be heard on the priority. Interrupt has priority. Some interrupts is more important than others. For example, answering your phone is more important, so hearing to the knocking of the door. In the introduction of the interrupt, we know that it is used to cause a temporary halt in the execution of program. Normal program routine will be halt due to the interrupt. So meaning of interrupt is to break the sequence of operations while the microprocessor is executing a program, and after an interrupt breaks the normal sequence of execution of instructions, diverts its execution to some other program called interrupt service routine, ISR. So normal control shifted to the ISR to handle the interrupt of any kind of IO interrupts. After execution ISR, IRET returns the control back again to the main program. Interrupt processing is an alternative to the polling. So if we think of the polling is an alternative of the interrupt. Why an interrupt is necessary for our normal execution of the program? Interrupts are particularly useful when the interfacing IO devices that provide or require data at relatively low data transfer rate. As compared to the internal structure or architecture of the computer, external devices have the low speed and interfacing. So that's why they need the time to handle the things in a delay position. Sources of interrupts, the three types of sources are there. External signal applied to NMI or INTR interrupt, input pin hardware interrupt, and execution of interrupt. NMI is a maskable, non-maskable, and INTR is a maskable interrupt. NMI is a top priority and maskable is a low priority input pin in the hardware interrupt. Execution of interrupt instruction, software interrupt, and interrupt raised due to some error condition produced in the 8086 architecture instruction execution process divided by zero overflow errors in the program during the execution of the program. 8086 interrupt can come from any one of the following three sources: external sources, execution of the instruction, and an error divided by zero. So these are the sources. In the external sources, NMI have 17 pin and non-maskable interrupt have 17 pins, and maskable pins are 18 pins. An interrupt caused by the signal applied to one of these input is called hardware interrupt. So these in the execution of instruction and int n, where n is the interrupt type that can take any value between 00h and ffh. This is called the software enter. So when we have these values 00h and offset values, this is called software enter. And inner condition such as divided by 0, which is produced in the 8086 by the execution of the divided by 0 instruction, are trap interrupts. So error condition caused by the division of the 0 any value produced the error in 8086. It caused the interrupt. So how to get key typed in the keyboard or keypad? What is the pooling and interrupt? We have to understand. Pooling, the CPU executes a program that check for the available of data. If a key is pressed, then read the data. Otherwise, keep waiting or looping. So waiting or looping is when we are input any data into the program or any instruction or any console. We have to put into the information for the CPU. So in waiting condition, that is said to be a pooling. And interrupt is not a pooling. The CPU executes other programs as soon as a key is pressed. The keyboard generates an interrupt. CPU executes other program as soon as key is pressed. So during that delay, we have CPU will handle other programs to calculate or manage the time wastage. So keyboard generates an interrupt. When keyboard generates an interrupt, again pressing the any key, the CPU will respond to the interrupt, read the data. After that, returns to the original program. So by proper use of interrupt, the CPU can serve many devices at the same time. That's why the pooling and interrupt have the two different categories. What is the difference between the pooling and interrupt? The keyboard controller can hold only a single keystroke. Therefore, the keyboard controller must be freed before the next keystroke arrives. The keystroke is passed to the CPU by putting it in the keyboard buffer. So the keyboard controller keeps on passing the keystroke input to the CPU. So keyboard, when we are delayed in the keyboard stroke, putting into the data into the CPU manage this wastage of time and handling other jobs or tasks during the waiting time. So when we press the keystroke any key, then jumped to the normal position, halt the program of execution and listen the keystroke pressed by the user. So this is the pooling. And when the interrupt the program is a normal program interrupted by the CPU to hear the input of the data. So but how does the CPU attend to it when we have the multiple? CPU is not at the disposal of the keyboard controller. It is usually busy doing several other operations. So we need some mechanism to indicate to the CPU that keystroke has arrived. How is this done? There are two approaches to making sure that the CPU pays attention: pooling based or interrupt based. So this is the diagram. Keystroke causes interrupt, keyboard controller and CPU. The keyboard controller will handle the pooling and interrupt handling. And pooling based system are this: keyboard controller, do you have a keystroke for me? So always connected to the keyboard controller CPU, asking when it will input keystroke pulled data to the CPU. So pooling based interrupt handling, and the CPU executes a program that check for the available of data. If a key is pressed, then read the data, otherwise keep waiting or looping. So this is all. Here keyboard controller keystroke passed to the CPU. When keystroked passed to the CPU will halt the normal program and listening the keyboard controller's key pressed by the user. So this is no keystroke for CPU. So when there is no keystroke, CPU will execute the normal routine of the execution of any task or programs in the session. Interrupt based system. What is the interrupt based systems? We have keystroke, keyboard controller, pay attention, interrupt. Both are simultaneously handling by the CPU. When keyboard keyboard striking the key by the user will also pay attention to the CPU and interrupt the normal routine of the program. So this is the interrupt based approach in the architecture. The CPU executes other program as soon as a key is pressed. The keyboard generates an interrupt. The CPU will respond to the interrupt, read the data. After that, it returns to the original program. So by proper use of interrupt, the CPU can serve many devices at the same time. For example, how to control a robot that has sensor to detect obstacles and makes a return. Controlling robot by using pulling and interrupt. So pulling and interrupt are both mechanism used. Pulling, move forward, or waiting, we say move forward in a predefined unit, check sensor reading, do nothing if no obstacle, or return if obstacle detected, loop back and move forward again. In the interrupt section, keep moving until interrupted by the sensor. So interrupted by the sensor, interrupt receive then do predefined operations listed. After finishing the interrupt service, return to the normal operation, keep moving forward again. So this will resume the job after completion of the interrupt. So this is the whole control flow diagram. Pulling versus interrupt control of a robot. Here move forward, check sensor, obstacle yes or no, or return to the move forward, stop or run. And interrupt, we have move forward till the interrupt occurs. So we have no any pulling or waiting, we are just moving. Only when we have stopped or disturbed our the routine program, when the request is called by the pulling or waiting. So that's a difference between the pulling and interrupt controls of robots. Main program, this is a main program, and regular flow of the program is running such like that. And when 20 microseconds keyboard driver, this is a keyboard interact with the main program, and when keyboard keystroke is pressing any kind of key, it will halt the program. When we stroke the key, it will halt the routine work of the program, and so this is the call pulling. When we strike any key, it will halt the program and hearing the key, and then after that interrupt main program will be resumed. This is pulling. And how would the processor work with an interrupt? So we see in this session we have the interrupt controller and keyboard and main program, and when we have interrupt controller triggers the appropriate interrupt service routine. IS are also interact with the keyboard driver and main program. And here we see another figure of that. In that figure, interrupt controller when key is stroked, the interrupt controller IS generates the interrupt routine and called halt the main program and here the interrupt cycle. After that will resume the main program. This is the interrupt based architecture of the computer system. These are the types of the interrupts: hardware interrupts, and we have software interrupts. Interrupts IN interrupts n to the 256 types of software interrupts from interrupt 00 to interrupt FF, and hardware interrupts, maskable interrupts and non-maskable. Non-maskable interrupts are high priorities such like reset, etc., and maskable interrupts are the programmer can choose to mask specified interrupts and re-enable them later on. So, and the programmer cannot control when a non-maskable interrupt is served. So, that is a no interference of the program in the non-maskable interrupts. The processor has stopped the main program to execute NMI service routine. So, processor only way to stop the main program to execute the NMI service routine without any interference of the outsider. These are the interrupts, hardware, maskable and non-maskable. These are the tables will show you in the 8086 tables from left to right side. The pins will be handled by the CPU to hear the hardware interrupts. In the non-maskable interrupts, here we have 18, pin number 18, and in the non-maskable have the 17, pin number 17 will be pinned or set 1 to call to the interrupt. So when interrupt NMI any kind of pin set 1 means it will be set or called for the execution of interrupts of these types. This is the NMI 1. NMI 17 pin will be called for the interrupts, non-maskable. Process control by the processor. Execution of the interrupt instruction interrupts the interrupts instruction during the assembly time, moves the interrupt instruction to the vector table. Vector table occupies location from 00H to 003FFH of the program memory. It contains the code segment and instruction pointer for each kind of interrupt. It contains the code segment and instruction pointer. So, kind of interrupt to. If any interrupt has been requested, the 8086 microprocessor processes it by performing the following series of steps. What series or processes handled when interrupt processing? Pushes the content of the flag register onto the stack to preserve the status of the interrupt IF interrupt flag and trap flag by decrement the stack pointer by 2. Disable the INTR interrupt by clearing IF interrupt flag in the flag register. Resets trap flags in the flag register to disable the single step or trap interrupt. Pushes the content of the code segment register onto the stack by the decrementing stack pointer by 2. Pushes the content of instruction pointer onto the stack by the decrement by the 2. Performs an indirect forward jump to the start of the interrupt service routine corresponding to the received interrupt. So here steps involved in processing can interrupt instruction by the processor. Execute the interrupt instruction, jumps to the interrupt vector table, tracks the code segment and interrupt pointer in the vector table, pushes the existing code segment and interrupt pointer on the stack, loads the new code segment and interrupt pointer, jumps to the interrupt service routine ISR and executes the interrupt service routine, what is the call of the interrupt, and come back and continue the main program, resume the program. So this is the whole of the process of the interrupt in the 806 process. This is another diagram will show you the easy way. Interrupting the main program, pushes flag register, clear interrupt flag and trap flags, and pushes code segment in IP interrupt pointer, loads code segment in IP interrupt pointer, and here we have pop IP and IC. Pop flags register when completed. Interrupt program, this is the interrupt program called for the interrupt by the interrupt service routine. This is whole will be showing the details. This execution NMI, this is the hardware reset as a non-maskable interrupts. When reset is called, it will pin the register, and this process is executed. Interrupt process cycle executed on the priority, and all other execution of the program suspended. Push down the routine program and will handle this NMI. Complete the current instruction that is in progress, and pushes the flag register values on the stack, pushes the code segment value and interrupt pointer value of the return address on to the stack. Interrupt pointer is loaded from contents of the world location. Code segment is loaded from contents of next world location, and interrupt flag and trap flag are reset to the 0. When job is completed, it will again reset the interrupt flags and traps to the low level. This is another specification of this NMR vector. ISR called, assume this has 50 lines of code, and for example this has 50 lines of code of interrupt cycle NMI, and will also resume the main program again after the completion of the interrupt. This is another specification of the ISR for an flag CS and the IP before executing the ISR. Interrupt return instruction type A. Non-maskable interrupts used during power failure, used during critical response times, used during non-recoverable hardware errors, used as a watchdog interrupt, used during memory parity check errors. So these are non-maskable interrupts types are the classification, and these are the priorities set by the CPU. Software interrupts used by the operating systems to provide hooks into various functions, and used as a communication mechanism between different parts of the mechanisms. Hardware interrupts is used as a handle external hardware peripherals such as keyboard, mouse, hard disk, floppy disk, DVD drives, and etc. So these are the hardware interrupts can be handled by the CPU. Hardware interrupts used to handle external hardware peripherals such as keyboards. Interrupts are expensive in terms of time and processing power, so it will consume the more time and cost due to the all microprocessor architectures have inbuilt interrupt service capability. So this is built-in capability. We have no any kind of programming into the such kind of interrupt handling. So we just have to understand the mechanism of that, how they are working together. So this is the interrupt vector table we have to see. In the next section we discuss about the interrupt vector table. Till then, Allah Hafiz. Thank you very much for joining the class.